I never thought I'd be one of those people. You know, the ones who look like they have it all together on the outside. The happy marriage, the nice home. But on the inside, they're just lonely. That was me. Married, but desperately, crushingly lonely. My husband, Mark, and I were like two ships passing in the night. We lived in the same house, but we were worlds apart. The silence between us was louder than any argument. It was a quiet ache that settled deep in my bones, a constant reminder of the connection we'd lost. I remember one Tuesday evening perfectly. Mark was on his laptop, probably working, and I was scrolling through my phone, looking at pictures of happy couples. It felt like a punch to the gut. We used to be that couple. We used to laugh until we cried, talk for hours about everything and nothing. Now, we barely made eye contact over dinner. The emotional distance felt like a physical wall. I felt invisible. I wondered if he even saw me anymore, if he felt the same emptiness I did. I was drowning, and the person who was supposed to be my life raft was right there, completely oblivious. That night I couldn't sleep. I just lay there staring at the ceiling, my mind racing. Was this it? Was this my life now? A partnership in name only? I felt this overwhelming wave of despair wash over me. I loved Mark, I truly did. But I couldn't live like this. The loneliness was eating me alive. It felt like a slow poison, and I knew something had to change, or I would completely fall apart. I was at my breaking point, ready to give up, ready to walk away from everything we had built. I just didn't see any other way out of the pain. In that moment of pure desperation, I grabbed my phone. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. I didn't know what to write, but I knew I had to say something. I couldn't keep pretending. So with my heart pounding and tears blurring my vision, I started typing a message to him. It wasn't angry or accusatory. It was just honest. I poured out all the loneliness, the feeling of being unseen, the longing for the connection we once had. My thumb trembled over the send button. This was it. This one message could either be the final nail in the coffin of our marriage, or it could be a lifeline. I wrote, "I miss us. I feel so lonely, even when you're right next to me. It feels like we're just roommates and my heart hurts. I don't know how we got here, but I don't want this to be our story. Do you ever feel this way?" I stared at the words, my vulnerability laid bare in that little blue bubble. I took a deep breath and hit send. The sound of the message delivering felt like a gunshot in the silent room. I held my breath, waiting. The seconds stretched into what felt like an eternity. I was terrified. What if he didn't respond? What if he just rolled over and went to sleep? Then I saw it, the 3 little dots, and he was typing. My heart was in my throat. I watched his message come through word by word. It said, "I miss us too. I've been feeling it for a long time. I just didn't know how to say it. I'm sorry. I don't want to lose you." Reading those words, the tears I'd been holding back finally fell, but this time they weren't tears of sadness. They were tears of relief. It was like the first crack of light after a long, dark night. For the first time in years, I felt seen. I felt heard. We weren't just 2 lonely people anymore. We were 2 people who missed each other. That single message didn't magically fix everything, but it was the start. It broke the silence. The next morning, for the first time in forever, we didn't just rush through our routine. Mark put his phone down, looked me in the eyes, and asked, "How did you sleep?" It was a small question, but it meant the world. We started talking, really talking. Not about bills or schedules, but about us, about our fears, our hopes, and how we had let the daily grind push us apart. It was awkward at first, like learning a language we'd forgotten. But we kept trying. We made a conscious effort to reconnect. We started with small things, like a mandatory 15-minute no-phone conversation every evening. We went on dates again, not just fancy dinners, but simple walks in the park, holding hands. We rediscovered the things we loved about each other. I learned that Mark had been feeling lonely too, burdened by work stress and afraid he was failing me as a husband. He thought I was pulling away because I was unhappy with him, not just with our situation. By sharing our vulnerabilities, we dismantled the wall between us, brick by painful brick. It took time, and it took work. There were days we slipped back into old habits, but we were both committed to not letting the silence win again. We learned to fight for our connection, to be intentional about our love. That one terrifying, honest message changed the entire trajectory of our marriage. It reminded us that communication isn't just about talking. It's about being brave enough to be vulnerable, to say, "I'm hurting," and trust that the person you love will hear you. It's about choosing to turn towards each other, especially when it feels easier to turn away. If you're feeling lonely in your relationship, please know you are not alone in that feeling. It's a painful place to be, but it doesn't have to be the end of the story. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is to break the silence. Your voice, your vulnerability, might just be the key that unlocks the door to reconnection. It was for me. Thank you so much for listening to my story today. If this resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more content about navigating the complexities of life and relationships. See you in the next one.